What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and today I have a replay. I throw rock and he throws scissors. So we got a good match between NegaColin. I think it's NegaColin, yeah. So, I get to go first. I open Tribe, Sangin, Spy, Duo, Upstart, and Fate. I fire the Duo on him, and I roll a 5, and I get his meta. And he throws out BLS. Okay. I fire the Upstart into Chaos Sword, which is nice. And I set Sangin and pass. He's got Call the Haunted, MST, Brain Control, and Graceful Charity. He fires the Graceful Charity into Pot of Greed, Reaper, and Sangin. Must be nice. Draw Pot of Greed there. Awesome. He throws out Sangin and throws out MST. Then he fires Pot of Greed, and he draws Mind Control and Spy. So good thing I set this good old Sangin, because his Mind Control is done for. He just wasted card advantage there. But it's okay, because he has Spirit Reaper. Of course he does. So he summons the Reaper, and he hits me for 300. And he rolls a 5, which is not it. And then he rolls a 4 and picks my Fate. And then he sets Call the Haunted and passes. I draw into Wing Blast. I decide to flip Sangin, and I just get 700 points. And I swing into the Reaper. And I set Spy and set Wing Blast and pass. He draws into Duo, so must be nice. He fires the Duo here, and I decide to chain Wing Blast and put the Reaper back on top. But he sends it to the graveyard, and I'm not really complaining. I'm like, whatever, that's your stupidity. I'm pretty sure it goes on top, but what do I know? He sets Spy and passes. I draw into a Faith, which is okay, I guess. Not really. So I flip the Spy, and I get a Spy. And I put him in defense, and I swing with the Spy, and it is a Spy. So I run into his Spy. I take 800, and I set the Faith and pass. He draws into Apprentice Magician here. So he sets Apprentice Magician and passes. And then he switches the Spy and he crashes with the Spy. Okay, which is fine. I draw into BLS here. So I could just drop this BLS and banish the back row and banish the monster. But I decide to flip Faith and I get Duo. And decide to switch the Spy to attack mode, and I run into the Apprentice Magician. And he decides to get another Apprentice Magician here. He didn't get Faith because he knew I had Duo, so I just pass. He draws into Gravekeeper's Guard. He flips the Apprentice Magician and runs into my Faith. I take 100. Okay. And then he sets Guard and sets Brain Control and passes. I draw into Pot of Greed. Must be nice. I fire the Pot of Greed and draw into Chaos Sword and Thunder Dragon. Whole bunch of different plays I could do here now. I discard the Thunder Dragon and I grab 2 more. And I decide to tribute the Sangin for Thunder Dragon. And I grab Tsukiyomi out the deck. And I go into battle, and I swing over the Apprentice Magician. He takes 1200. And he gets a Faith. And I swing with the Spy into the Faith. And he gets Pot of Greed. Okay. And then I decide to main phase 2, use Duo and pop him. And get rid of the Pot of Greed here. And then I banish a Dark, banish a Light, and I drop BLS, and I banish the face down, and I pass. Now, anybody that was decent would have definitely won this turn. Because all you had to do was just Brain Control this, switch this to attack mode, attack, and then Call the Haunted. But this guy decides to Brain Control my BLS, and he removes himself. You can attack with Brain Control, so all you had to do was do that, and I would have won. So that was just fortunate that he didn't do that. So we are living good right now, because he could have just won that turn. Instead, I decided to summon Tsukiyomi and put the Spy face down and flip it up. And I grab Spy in attack mode. And I banish the Dark, banish the Light. And I remove the spy. And I knock. And he just scoops. He could have won the game, but he could have called the Haunted and saved himself there. So that was just crazy. So he misplayed like crazy that game. I don't know what he was thinking. He could have definitely won. If you're watching this, NegaColin, I'm sorry, bro. So, game 2, he opens Decree, Call the Haunted, Sangan, Snatch, Reaper, and Brain Control. He sets Call and sets Decree and passes. I've got Jargreed, Yomi, Deco, Thunder Dragon, Spy, and MST. I discard the Thunder Dragon and get myself 2 more. And I set MST and Jargreed and set Spy and pass. He draws into his Thunder Dragon. I say, okay, that's cool. No Dust Shoot here. And he discards the Thunder Dragon and grabs 2 more. And he tributes his Sangan for a Thunder Dragon. And he searches Sinister Serpent. And he goes into battle and he hits my Spy. And I get a Spy in defense. And passes. I end phase Jargreed. He tries to decree me, but I have the MST, so I get to draw. I draw into Serpent, which sucks. Then I draw Heavy Storm. I decide to just tribute the Spy for a Thunder Dragon, and I crash the Thunder Dragons, and I pass. He draws into Spy. So now he decides to Snatch Steal my Spy, and hit me for 1,500. And he gets my Heavy, which sucks, but he had Call the Haunted, so it's fine. And passes. I gain 1,000. I draw into Graceful Charity, which is nice. I fire the Graceful, and I draw into Wing Blast, Knock, and Dekochi. I discard Sinister and discard Thunder Dragon. I decide to run the Deco out and just swing over the Spy that he's got snatched, so it takes 200. I set Wing Blast and pass. He draws into BLS. Okay, must be nice again. This guy's drawing all the good shit, and he could have beat me game 1, but he didn't. So he Brain Controls and takes my Deco. And he decides to hit me for 300. And I decide to Wing Blast, and he doesn't destroy it, so he sends it to the graveyard, which is fine. I mean, he doesn't put it back on top. He should have not destroyed it there. He does destroy it. It's supposed to go back on top, I'm pretty sure. But hey, it's fine. So then he tributes my Deco for Thunder Dragon and passes. I don't really have much here. I have a Sinister Serpent I can get. I draw Solemn for turn. I decide to set Solemn and set Serpent and pass. He draws into Fate. So he decides to flip Thunder Dragon and just attack. I say, okay. And he sets Spy and passes. I draw into Upstart Goblin. I grab my Serpent back. And I fire the Upstart into Jargreed. And I decide to knock, and it is a Spy. So I banish all the Spies, and I set the Jargreed and set the Serpent and pass. He draws into MST. He decides to swing over the Serpent. I say, okay. Main phase 2, he fires MST, and I change Jargreed, which is nice. He just wasted his MST. I draw into Mirror Force. He sets Faith and passes. I draw into Chaos Sword. So I decide to get my Serpent back here. And decide to banish a dark, banish a light, and I drop Chaos Sword. And I banish the Thunder Dragon. And then I summon Tsukiyomi and swing over the Faith. And he gets MST. So I decide to set Mirror Force and pass. He draws into Pot of Greed. Must be fucking nice. He Pot of Greeds, and I should have never done this, but I decide to Solemn Judgment the Pot of Greed. This was definitely a misplay. Should have never done that. Should have let him Pot of Greed. But then again, he probably had it anyway, so it wouldn't have really mattered. So now he's going to banish a dark, banish a light, and he's going to swing, hit me for 3k, and he's got the Call of the Haunted, and it is over. So we're going to game 3. Game 3. Let's see what happens. I open Solemn, Trap, Dust Shoot, Breaker, BLS, Tribe, and Faith. I decide to just set Solemn and set Dust Shoot and pass. He's got Brain Control, Breaker, Sangan, Faith, Mind Control, and Book of Moon. I fire the Dust Shoot, and I decide to put the Breaker back. Just want to keep my solemn around and say fuck it. And he drops Sangin, and I decide just to solemn judgment to Sangin right away. They ain't have my life. And he sets Book of Moon and passes. I draw into Jar of Greed. I run Breaker out and break, and he does not Book of Moon this because he thinks that he's going to go for a game shot with brain control. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I set Jar of Greed and pass. He draws into Saku. He sets Faith and sets Saku. I end-phase Jar of Greed into Chaos Sork. Or no, I Jar of Greed into Dust Shoot, and I draw for turn Chaos Sork. So I go into battle, and I swing with Breaker, and I get Saku'd, which is fine. Now I know he has mind control, so I can't really do shit. I set Tribe, as a bluff, because I know he has mind control, and this is when all the good shit starts happening for him. Because he has the Faith set. He top decks Pot of Greed. Must be fucking nice. He plays the Pot of Greed, and draws Mirror Force and Heavy Storm. Then he Heavy Storms me, and gets my Dust Shoot. Then he flips Faith again and gets Pot of Greed again. So now there's just no shot in hell I can win this game at all. But y'all know on the channel it's only W. So how do I come back from this? Have no idea because I am the worst Yu-Gi-Oh player that's ever lived. So he's going to fire the mind control here. And he fell into my trap. And it is a Tribe. So he's going to flip the Tribe and use Tribe's effect to pop himself and throw out the brain control. Which is nice for me because I'm wanting him to do this. And then he decides to premature burial the Sangin. And he hits me for 1,300. Putting me down to 27. And he sets Mirror Force and passes. I draw into Duo. So pretty much my only play here is to summon Faith and crash into the Faiths. This gives me the Lightning Grave. He's thinking about it like he's going to Mirror Force. You're going to Mirror Force me? Sure. That's just the greatest play ever if you do that. So he doesn't do it. He crashes. Main phase 2. I decide to banish the Dark, banish the Light, and drop Chaos Sork. Banish the Sangin. And I just say fuck it and Duo him, putting me down to 1,700. And he draws into Tsukiyomi. He just passes. So I draw Sangin for turn. I decide to switch Chaos Sork to attack mode and swing. And he does not Mirror Force, so now he's at 3,300. I set Sangin and pass. He draws into Gravekeeper's Guard. And he sets the guard and passes. I draw into a knock, which is nice. So now I flip the Sangin, and I'm thinking this is game here because he didn't do anything last turn. So I instantly just knock. And I hit for 23, and there's the Mirror Force. Awesome. So now I'm just like, what the fuck? I am fucked completely. And I grab the Faith, and decide to set the Faith and pass. He top decks Nobleman or Crossout. Must be fucking nice to be Yugimoto. So he knocks my Faith. Okay, back to me being fucked again. And they're all gone. And I draw into Pot of Motherfucking Greed. So who is the real Yugimoto here? I discard, I draw Thunder Dragon and knock. I fire the knock, just get that shit out of here. And I discard Thunder Dragon. And grab 2 more. And I just say, you got 1 turn, you better fucking have it. I drop Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. And poke him for 3,000 damage. And he has 1 draw. He draws Mystical Space Typhoon. And that is what I like to call curtains. Y'all hit the like, hit the sub. That's how you do it. You come back from all that crazy shit. Pot of Greed, flip Faith, get Pot of Greed, mind control, brain control. I mean, I did open Dust Shoot, was pretty nice, but other than that, I really had... And the Pot of Greed at the end was definitely clutch. I did top deck Pot of Greed at the end. That's probably why